to reach a particular destination and you were given a car, you would need to know two things to reach your destination. Of course, you would need to know the road outside from your starting point to your goal. But you will also know how the car works. You will need to know about the brakes and gears and clutches of the car. Why am I telling you this? All of us want to reach the goal of success, isn't it? And the world outside, our school, our education, teaches us about the roadmap outside. But the vehicle which helps us to go on the road is us, this mind and body, which is called the yantra in the Vedas. And of course, there's a ghost in the machine, the soul, so to speak. But this vehicle is what takes us through the roads of life. If you don't know enough about this vehicle, how will you ride it in a way that you reach your goal? So the Vedanta philosophy that we are going to discuss today, it centers around the question, who am I? If I were to ask you who you are, you will tell me I am so and so, a name. But I will tell you, you can't be that name. Your name was arbitrarily chosen by your parents. Had they named you anything else, you would have still been who you are. Then you'll tell me, I am my form, the me I see in the mirror. And I will tell you, don't trust your eyes. You are seeing yourself as this form because the retina in your eye is sensitive to the electromagnetic spectrum. If I tweak your DNA and make it sensitive to X-ray vision, you won't see this form. You will see everyone as skeletons. You see what your eyes are capable of seeing. You hear also what your ears are capable of hearing. You have a decibel range of sound, but dogs can hear sounds which you can't hear because their hearing range is different. Does the sound not exist because you can't hear it? No. So there's a whole realm of existence which you can't see, you can't hear, but it exists. There's a whole range of who you are which you're not aware of. You are only aware of the tip of the iceberg that you are. There's a vast part of you which you're not conscious of. Vedanta is an inquiry into who you really are beyond who you appear to be to yourself. For me, I could never really understand Vedanta till I studied quantum physics. So let me try and explain Vedanta to you through quantum physics. All of you look at the fan which is whirring in your room. If you slow it down, the number of blades you see will be less. If you quicken it, you'll see more blades, and if you make it at its fastest speed, it'll look like a white whir. If you increase the speed of the fan to 10,000 times its maximum speed, it will appear to be a solid white disk. It's actually moving, but so fast that it appears to be solid and unmoving. The wisdom of our ancient India, the phenomenal world of appearances is called Jagat. Ja is born out of, Gat is from Gati, speed. The world of appearances born out of speed. So quantum physics says that you appear to be this body. The body is made up of cells. Cells are made up of molecules. Molecules are made up of atoms. Atoms are made up of electrons, protons, neutrons, which are further made up of subatomic particles, which are moving at such high speeds that it gives the appearance of solidity, just the way the blades of the fan moving very fast appear to be solid. And these subatomic particles arise from a field, a unified field. So quantum physics implies that all matter is one continuum, and it's appearing to be discrete because the limitation of our seeing, but actually everything is one. And this one existence Vedanta calls Brahma, that one essence which is everywhere and in all things. It's so beautiful that in our ancient Gurukuls, when the students were left with the Guru in India, the first thing they were taught was about themselves, about the oneness of all existence. Since we've come far away from that, we live as if we exist only within this skin and everything else is outside us. And this is what creates misery for us and for the world outside. If we constantly lived with this understanding that I'm really one with everyone, that if I drop a drop of black ink in an ocean, it will finally blacken the whole ocean. If I hurt anyone, finally that hurt will come back to me. If I do good to anyone, that good will also come back to me. So Vedanta reminds me to walk on earth with a kinder foot, more compassion, more love. So, why does the world, which is actually Brahma, appear to be so many discrete entities? Vedanta talks about Maya. Sri Aurobindo says that Maya is the infinite's capacity to appear finite. So, something that's infinite and vast, when it appears finite to itself for its own purposes, that is Maya. So, as you're seeing in the picture, a prism, the white light is Brahma, it's one. Maya is the prism that splits the white light into not only 7 colors but millions of colors of Jagat. Jagat, as we've said, is the phenomenal world of appearances born out of speed. Vedanta often talks of a term mithya, which is the adjective that describes Jagat. A famous sentence of Vedanta is Brahma Satya, Brahma is true, Jagat Mithya. The phenomenal world of appearances appears to be true but is not. Like the fan moving very fast appears to be a solid white disk, but it's not. Vedanta talks about 2 kinds of intelligences. The Sthul Buddhi, which relates to tangible things, things which can be seen, touched, felt. And it talks about the Sukshma Buddhi, which is the intuitive mind. Vedanta says that the teachings of Vedanta cannot be grasped by the Sthul Buddhi. It has to be grasped by the Sukshma Buddhi or the intuitive mind. We have access to the intuitive mind when our thoughts slow down. As Sri Aurobindo says beautifully in his epic poem Savitri, in the mind's silence the transcendent acts, and the hushed heart hears the unuttered word. That hearing of the unuttered word is a faculty of the Sukshma Buddhi, the intuitive mind. Vedanta is a philosophy of Advaita. Dvaita is two-ness, is no, like ahimsa is non-violence, himsa is violence. So Advaita is monism, that everything is made up of one essence, which is Brahma. Why do we not know everything as Brahma? Because the human mind is in a state of avidya or spiritual ignorance. Vedanta accepted all existing conceptions and theories of other schools as they were useful in helping the undeveloped mind to think of the One. It allowed the sadhak to use any method so long as the goal of oneness could be reached. Vedanta said salvation can be gained when we intuitively come to the experience of Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahma, and Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma, everything indeed is Brahma. If I am Brahma and everything is Brahma, it makes me see that I am everything, that is Soham. I am indeed everything. So, Sri Aurobindo beautifully writes in Savitri, all love is a yearning of the One for the One. Rishi Yagnavalkya says that you love the wife not for the sake of the wife, but for the sake of the self, that one essence that you are. The self in you loves the self in the wife. There's a story which is popular in the Vedanta tradition. Once there was a tiger cub whose mother died while delivering the cub. The cub was adopted by a sheep, and the cub grew up with the sheep and started eating grass and started thinking he was a sheep. But he was never happy being one of the sheep. One day he was drinking water at a lake and a tiger came along, and by then this tiger, who thought he was a sheep, was a young robust tiger, but he still thought he was sheep. And when the older tiger saw him, the younger tiger started quivering and said, please don't eat me. And the older tiger said, this is odd, why is he afraid of me? He's bigger and stronger than me. And then the older tiger took the younger tiger by the neck, showed him his reflection in the water, and said, see who you really are. Now wake up and roar. Aham Brahmasmi is the roar of the Vedantin. When he discovers he's not the small, vulnerable human self that he thinks, but he is the immutable, all-powerful, eternal self of Vedanta. So, what was the influence of Vedanta? Vedanta influenced the Vashishta Advaita of Ramanuja, which qualified monism with elements of plurality. Ramanuja accepted that there is one essence which manifests in different forms. It also influenced the Advaita philosophy of Shankaracharya, which emphasized the principles of non-duality of one without a second. So, there's a beautiful Shanti mantra which brings out the heart of Vedanta. It says, Om Purnam Ada, that the Creator is complete and whole. Ada is that. Purnam Idam, this I, the becoming of the Creator, I am also complete and whole. After all, if guava seeds are planted, you get guava fruit. If mango seeds are planted, the fruit is mango. But all creation is full of God seeds, so to speak. So all creation is the fruit called God. If God, my Creator, is complete and whole, I am also complete and whole. Purnasya Purnamadaya, if wholeness is subtracted from wholeness, Purnam eva vashishyate, the original wholeness does not change. When creation was subtracted from the original wholeness of God, the original wholeness remained intact. So Vedantic mathematics will be 1 minus 1 equal to 1. So the students I teach get quite fond of this mantra and it brings them a lot of peace. So let's chant it together. I'll repeat each line twice, second time with me. Purnamadaha Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Purnamevavashishyate Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So before we do the whole chant together, remind yourself, my real parent is God who is complete and whole. If He is complete and whole, I am also complete and whole, no matter how much sometimes the world tries to convince me that I am not. So this can be your mantra of self-worth. So let's chant it, looking for that self-worth, which you can only get when you go inside you and discover the truth of who you really are. When you become that tiger who wakes up and roars. Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste.